So hey guys, it's Tamara. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I got a question on my YouTube page from an awesome subscriber, and she asked me the question of what's the difference between ADD and ADHD? And so I'm going to answer that in this video today. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel, guys. For those who are subscribed, and for those who are not, I encourage you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can stick around with us, ask questions, suggest topics, and participate in our growing community. So I want to answer this question because I think it's a good question, and a lot of people have asked me about it, and so this is just the proper place. This viewer, she added the cherry on top of the cake because I think I get this question about 90 million times a month. So let me go ahead and just describe what ADHD is versus ADD. So ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And basically what that means is you have an attention problem, so an inability to pay attention or to tune in for long periods of time. You then have a deficit in how you manage your environment, how you manage and control your own body and your own mind. So your ability to manage your attention span is very difficult. Your ability to manage your energy level may also be difficult. That's why it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Hyperactivity is really hyper behavior, restlessness, sometimes agitation, sometimes irritability. You're just kind of bouncing all over the place. You may talk really, really fast. You may be very impulsive, so you act before you think. You may also have an inability to maintain a certain pace throughout your day and throughout your life. You don't know how to pace yourself. You rush through everything. Your life may feel like a constant roller coaster, a constant tornado, right? Where things are just constantly going. There's never any calm. And then when there is calm, you can't calm your own internal system. You cannot control your own emotions, your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own energy level. So there's a deficit in the ability to do that. There's also a deficit in attention span as well. So there may be a lot of disorganization. There may be a lot of zoning off or zoning out. There may be a lot of daydreaming and maybe even some dissociation at times. It just depends on how severe that daydreaming is. So that's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Now, ADD, which is attention deficit disorder, tends to be diagnosed in more adults, and it doesn't have that hyperactive component. You're not going to be restless and irritable and impulsive and hyper and can't sit still, and you're not going to feel like everything's a roller coaster and a whirlwind and a tornado. With ADD, attention deficit disorder, you are going to be very distracted by your environment. You're going to be very distracted by your own thoughts. You're going to have a hard time staying organized in your life and in your world and in your mind. You may find yourself getting very irritable very easily because you can't manage your own thoughts or your own environment. You may have things scattered all over your desk at work. You may have clothes all over your room. And so in an attempt to clean it, you realize that, okay, wait a second, I don't have the attention span or the tolerance to clean this mess up. So guess what? I'm just going to leave it like it is. But I feel like everything is sitting on my lap and piling up, and I can't seem to get out of this trap. That's attention deficit disorder. They're different diagnoses, but with one little small change. ADD and ADHD are used interchangeably to describe sometimes the same behavior, but sometimes they're used to describe different behaviors. So ADHD is hyperactive, and ADD does not include that hyperactive component. When I diagnose my clients or new people that have come to me with ADHD, I have to add on what's called a modifier. And the modifier really makes the diagnosis really specific. So like, for example, right now I have a 11-year-old who has ADHD. And so I have to use the modifier combined type, or I use the modifier attention deficit only, or attention only, or inattention. So it's going to look a little bit like, I'm going to post it up here because I don't see a pin in my periphery, but I'm going to post it up here for you. What it looks like is ADHD, comma, and then it has the code, and then it has the modifier, which is unspecified type, or it could be ADHD, inattentive type. And what that modifier does is it makes the diagnosis really narrow, and it narrows everything down so that you can make sense out of what you're struggling with. It also helps those such as myself who diagnose to really zone in on the behavior that really needs help. All right, so that's the difference between ADHD and ADD. All right, guys, thank you so much for being with me in this Answer Your Questions video. If it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share this video with somebody who may need some explanation, some clear explanation, practical information about what ADHD is compared to ADD. Thank you so much for that question. Great question. If you have questions for me, go ahead and send them on. I love stopping and pausing and answering your questions, so go ahead and send them on, and I may just choose it to answer it on video. I will see you really soon with another video. Bye-bye.